If you're looking for a new healthy and delicious way to enjoy shrimp, I think you're really going to love today's recipe. Chef Chris Raines is here from the Chef and I Catering to show us how to make spiced shrimp with winter squash. Actually, several winter squashes, right?
Yeah, I thought
and
I'd
a summer one.
And a summer one for sure, yeah. Well, I tell you, I love the different flavors, Meryl, that the squashes bring, and they're all a little subtly different. The butternut squash has got a real rich and kind of a deep taste, almost close to a sweet potato, if you will.
It's a little sweet too.
Yeah, maybe
isn't it?
yam, I think.
Yeah,
And then the spaghetti squash has got a really light flavor, and it's got a nice little sweetness to it, especially once it's roasted. And then, of course, everybody's had zucchini, and we do a little trick on it today. We're going to marinate it raw and get a nice spicy flavor from the marinade for it.
And we've got shrimp to go with that, so what could be better?
It's just wonderful. It's a great healthy dish, all vegetables, very little olive oil, any of that good stuff. So if you're watching your weight, it's a great dish to create.
Good. So where do we start?
We're going to start with the spaghetti squash, and what we've done is I'm going to show you this big guy here. You've probably seen them in the grocery store and wondered what they are, and they're spaghetti squash.
Okay.
And the easiest way to prepare this is to cut it in half. Now, we were talking a little earlier, it's not that easy. You want to be very careful because the skin is hard. So with your knife, so you want to take your time and cut it in half, and then I just take it, turn it upside down, brush it in a little olive oil underneath, and roast it in a 350-degree oven for about an hour and 20 minutes.
Okay.
So there's a little planning into that.
Right, and you need to take the seeds out for you.
You definitely need to take the seeds out. You could actually, I roasted some the other day and left the seeds in it and took it out afterwards, and that works too. So if you don't feel like doing that ahead of time, you can do that after.
Okay.
And that's what we've got here. And so I'm going to have you show everybody what you do with the spaghetti squash
what it looks like. All right, where am I putting this?
We're going to go right into this pan. How about that?
All right, so here's the trick. You go like that, and it looks like pasta.
It does.
Isn't that cool?
Like capellini, angel hair pasta.
So it can be a substitute for pasta, which is great if you're not doing carbs. I do this all the time.
Exactly. You know, my wife is a great gluten-free option too as well.
Oh yeah.
So you're going to get that in the pan, and what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of fresh thyme, and I'm going to sprinkle that right down on top of you there. And then a little bit of salt and pepper, and I'll let you do that once you get that in there.
Okay.
And then we're going to hit it with a little raspberry vinegar. Now, if you don't like raspberry vinegar, you like red wine, any vinegar will work, but we want to add that acid because it really brings the sweetness of the squash out, and coupled with that thyme. And then while you're doing that, I've taken some butternut squash.
You ready for the vinegar?
I am. Go for it.
How much do you want?
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
There's no measurements in cooking. We got it. We'll
Not what we cook, right?
Exactly. So you're just going to saute that up. We got our fresh thyme in there. You've added your vinegar, a little salt and pepper when you get a chance.
Okay.
And then in my pan, I've got butternut squash. Now, butternut squash, I'll hold this guy up there too. This is actually a small one, but it looks, look at that. It looks kind of like a big gourd, if you will.
Yeah.
And it's real easy to peel. Use your vegetable peeler or your potato peeler, and then you're going to slice it into probably about a 1/4 inch thick slices. And I put that right into a saute pan, just a little bit of olive oil. And then we're going to season that with salt and pepper as well, and I'll pretend I'm doing that right here since you got it on your side.
Oh, well, I can hand it to you. Do I have it?
It's all good.
Okay. All right.
All right, and we're just going to crisp this up in a pan about over medium-high heat, and that's really going to bring the flavors out. It's going to get a nice roasted brown crust on the outside.
Okay.
And this is 2 of our squashes.
Okay. Good deal.
And this is the first thing you could do for this recipe, and you could do this the day before.
Okay, we've got about a minute left. I want to be sure we get all these parts.
We're going to marinate the zucchini. So we're going to add mirin, a little chili garlic paste. This is everything you can find in the international or Asian aisle.
I want to show you this mirin. Yeah, it's a Japanese rice wine.
It is. It's
easy to find.
Easy to find. There is a little alcohol content in it, but it will cook right out.
Is that about
It's got a really nice sweetness. That's perfect.
Okay, good.
And then I just hit it with just
chili paste.
Chili paste, just a spoon. And if you like it really spicy, go for 3 spoons.
Ha!
A little olive oil.
Let's split the difference. Maybe we'll do 1 1/2.
Perfect.
Okay.
And then what's going to happen is the vinegar is going to break down the zucchini and make it kind of pliable and give it a nice, really sweet flavor as well.
A little salt.
A little salt.
Okay.
Cool. And then what you're going to do is I've seasoned my shrimp. After you get all this together, really simple. I'm going to put it in a little pan of olive oil I just salt and peppered. And my favorite spice, smoked paprika.
Yum.
It's going to bring a really cool smoky flavor.
That just cooks a minute.
Cooks about a minute on each side on the shrimp. And then
look at that finished product. It is just beautiful the way you've stacked it up there.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I just layered the zucchini on the bottom, the roasted butternut squash under that, and then the spaghetti squash on top, and then through the shrimp. I crumble a little feta cheese, a little balsamic glaze, and it's just really to die for.
It is fantastic. Check it out over at Chef and I, wonderful restaurant over in Lenox Village, and you can go to Chef and I Catering too. We'll put all the information on our website. It's recipe number 5292 online at newschannel5.com. Thanks so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
So good. Now.